tell my friends stand by me only if I'm right. I come out of triple darkness just to see the light. If I say it once, I guarantee I say it twice. If they want me, I ain't going out without a fight. In my dreams, I'm a killer, but for God, man. Try to play it cool, but it's getting hard, man. Rolling with the real and death to all the frauds, man. Not too many on me, yeah, it's kinda hard, man. In my room, sitting in my room. Know they waiting on me and I'm coming soon. Never been a sellout, never been a coon. Y'all be on the camera acting.
As a 52-year-old man now, I can tell you that there are parts of myself that I neglected because that job was so important to me.
Right.
And I wasn't cognizant of the releases and the hobbies y'all talking about. And that I didn't pursue certain gifts that I had at the level I should have because of that commitment to that job. And it's hard for me to say I shouldn't have did it because I'm happy with the product.
Yeah. Man, we had always talked about going to a prize fight, world championship prize fight. We was out in Vegas, right? First time we took a real fellas trip in a minute. And
that was the first time we had taken.
Yeah, right, an adult fellas trip, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things I didn't realize, man, was the weight of always protecting my wife, the children, you know, and thinking about where we're gonna stay, what we're gonna eat, what we're gonna do, the agenda beyond the physical protection. Didn't even realize that weight was on me because it didn't matter if y'all want to eat at Ruth Chris Steakhouse or Jack in the Box. It didn't really matter. I didn't have to, now we're gonna watch each other backs always anyway.
Right.
But I didn't even realize that had that weight on me until it wasn't there anymore. And it was a relief. You know, have you guys had any experiences with that? Has that happened to you where you felt like you didn't realize you was in protection mode like that so much with your wife or your children until you didn't have it anymore?
I think, man, that's so interesting that you say that because it could be interpreted like when people hear, when somebody first hears like, hey, we taking a fellas trip, first thing everybody think is bachelor party. Or something like that.
Right.
You know the
we
movie.
going to get a bunch of women.
We going to get a bunch of women. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. And that's all we've been waiting to do ever since the day we got married. right? We like children with no supervision. We can't wait. Right? But you point out the real value of it is because I don't know how much our wives would believe that when we go on men's trip, we're just in the room chopping it up like we doing right here with the podcast about real stuff, about real life that we normally don't get an opportunity to do in our daily life with other people that we just acquaintances with. When I get with y'all, I can be the most vulnerable. I can know that I can get called out. And it's okay. You know, somebody is gonna joke on me. And I do get to say something to you if I see it, and I don't care if you get mad. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all of those relationship things with no rules or boundaries. It's like, it's just what it is. It just is. So it's interesting that you point that out because that's the value of it. I feel that when I go on those trips with y'all, my excitement level, you know, I've almost felt guilty about dimming the light of it sometimes, right? Because you know how, like when we go on a trip, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there now, but I really want to pack about 2 weeks before we go, bro. and I'm not the dude that's gonna ever do any other thing outside of that thing early. I'm everything outside. If it's a work trip, I pack the night before. Whatever. With y'all, I want to pack 2 weeks. I'm ready. You know, you was gonna go to King's Dominion when you was a kid.
Oh yeah.
You can't even sleep. No. So really, I don't sleep for the 2 weeks. Then you trying to downplay how excited you are almost because your wife looked at you. Really are excited about this trip, aren't you? Like,
can't wait to get away from me.
Who you meeting down there?
Yeah.
I mean, right? And you almost like, I am that excited, but you really just don't get it. Yeah. So that's my take on it, man. I'm not sure.
Did you do that on the way down here this time? Or you thought about it, but you never done it?
Usually what I do is I make the trip a burden. It's like, man, I gotta go down to Atlanta this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Right.
It's
I
that time
wanna
for us to shoot the
Costa Rica.
podcast.
I don't really
episodes.
feel like flying at the airport and customs.
Man, these guys gonna be talking all the way down
John
the
gonna
road.
be getting on my nerves. Man.
Joaquin gonna be putting his feet on you.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, who feet Joaquin put it on?
It was on. We talked about it was me, bro. I got the scar. I got the scar down in the bottom.
Eagle claw.
Yeah, but no, that's
Yeah.
real though, man. Yeah,
Nah,
it's,
that's beautiful though.
So do men? So as men and as fathers, those of us who have committed to being real fathers, like really putting the time in, really doing our best, making mistakes but trying to do better, winning some, losing some. We right sometimes. We like to think we right all the time, but we right most of the time probably, and wrong sometimes. It's stressful.
Yeah.
You feel the stress of disappointment of your child. You feel the stress of hurt of your child. You feel the stress of disappointment from your wife. You feel the stress of disappointment or worry about what's next for them and their journey and what they got going on in their life. And you wanna be the protector, right? And so I think when we get away and get a break from that, it's not as much a break from them at all. It's just a break from catching your breath a little bit.
Right, a reset. Yeah.
But I think if we don't do it, I think that's how a lot of brothers might end up calling it quits on the job.
Yeah, man. I remember the first time I really knew how much we needed the little getaways was the time you didn't come, but it was right before COVID when we went to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a 2,500 square foot suite. I mean, you know, like it's laid out.
It was nice.
We
Oh,
chilling,
big,
right?
Big,
Nice.
big ball.
Yeah, and I remember I came home. My wife was like, "What y'all do?" I was like, "Nothing." We stayed in the room, like literally.
Yes.
We was in that room 85% of the time.
Yeah.
We were gone.
Yeah,
We were in there, and I remember telling her, I was like, "That's it. That's the last time I'm getting a fancy suite," because they didn't even want to leave the room.
That was the conversation.
I don't even know why they
Yeah.
called it a suite. It was an apartment, bro. It was on the top floor of the hotel.
Yeah, it was like
50th floor.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, I was like, they didn't even want to leave the room. We ain't do nothing. And you know what's funny about it? You know, we've been doing this podcast for a year now, and people don't believe that when we do this podcast, it's completely unedited.
Right.
There's no edits. We
Right.
hit play and we talk, and the conversation that we are having in front of this camera right now is the exact conversations we had in the hotel room.
Right.
In that suite. And this is what we've been doing for years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's almost
Yeah.
like we've been training to do this, but we weren't training to do this.
Right.
Right.
But this is what we do. I tell people all the time, this is the same conversation we have when it's just us hanging out in Vegas. It's just cleaned up language.
Yeah, that's it. That's
We
it.
just cleaned up the language.
Right.
That's the
Most
only
of the time.
difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop
we-
a few. We
it's
drop a
like
few.
literally we might be talking about the kids, we might be talking about our professions, we could be talking about anything. But when we turn that camera on, this is the same easy conversation for us.
Why are we so thirsty for that? Why are black men and black fathers in need? Why do we always talk about that? We
I
shared a
think-
video one time, remember?
I think-
When and the brothers were talking about who do we have as men to go recharge with? Or to talk about it's times, man, when as a father, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have been, and you know, as black men, we don't that word stress to us, we almost get offended if you ask us if we stressed out. I know I do.
It's,
So we ain't
it's a
supposed
normal
to
I mean,
state.
I'm mature now, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, cause hey, I got this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as black men, we wear that and we want to be soldiers and we got so much to do, man. But it's times sometimes where I almost been like, man, you know what, man? Not that I was gonna leave home or do anything. And I was just like, you know what, man? I just don't know, man. It's just
Yeah.
I'm sick of this shit.
Right. Right.
And I'm not talking about a wife. I'm just talking about the different dynamics. Me trying to grow financially, me trying to take risks financially, but at the same time we need security because I got this and this going on, and and he got a problem and this going on, and my mom and this going on at home. My stepfather's sick, and And at work, we got this going on, and these people, you know, I'm a male in a female dominated industry and dealing with some, you know, gender stuff with that, and I'm frustrated. Then I gotta come home. I'm like, I just need to get away. My mom used to say that, man. My mother used to say, man, I tell you what, it's to the point, man, where I used to feel so guilty, but when she used to say it, because once I realized she was saying it because of us. But anyway, she used to just say, after working, you know, we always talk about how our mothers all work 17, 18 hours, 16 hours a day, 20 years, whatever. Sometimes she would just be frustrated and exasperated and say, I just want to get her. I just want to go away by myself.
Yeah.
I just want to go away by myself.
Man,
and
I think
as fathers, we get there, man, and too many of us don't do anything about it.
to use a very simple analogy, you know, it's about filling cups and being a pitcher. We are used to being a pitcher and filling the cups of all the people around us. Mm-hmm. But our pitcher gets empty. Mm-hmm. And who fills our pitcher for us in order to allow us to go fill all the cups? Mm-hmm. You know, like being a waiter in a restaurant, you know. And so I think we fill our pitchers for each other.
Let me say that if somebody listen, because I want to get this clear, because it's serious, because we have wives that we love and appreciate and care about.
Absolutely.
What's somebody's interpretation say, ain't that her job to fill your cup?
And she does, but not in the same way that you guys do.
That's what I want to point out.
Well,
It's because can she do it for the part of the cup you need filling? Can she even do it?
Well,
You can't even do it. That's my point.
She can't fill that part of the cup.
That's why it's not even about you.
Right.
I mean,
she
I'm
can't fill that
just
part
saying,
of the cup.
yeah.
She can't fill that part of the cup.
Yeah.
Well,
you know?
I appreciate my wife because she doesn't see it that way. Really, she knows. I think she's cognizant
that you need that.
I need that because
I think all of our women know we need it.
Because it was but I'm saying with regards to it, there's been times
the
where
general dynamic
where she's has had to encourage me to go on the trip with the fellas. You know what I mean?
She tired of you.
Yeah, get out there.
Yeah. Oh, so Jay.
No, that's not what
Why don't you go somewhere?
It's not in that spirit.
It's here all the time.
It is not in that spirit.
Don't you got some friends around the coast? Go to Costa Rica with or something?
Really, Jay? So
Y'all are
you didn't
foolish.
want to hang out with us?
No.
Now we
He
realize,
did bail on us on the
bro,
on the
now
Vegas.
we
on
realize
the one that you mentioned
when he
before
goes
the,
on the
before
trips,
the COVID.
it's his wife that's telling him to go.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, but that's I mean, I think she recognizes that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
And
John said
she's the
sometimes
one-
she pack your luggage too.
Hey, let me say
he's
this.
talking about,
Hey, I do want to
the way
say
I
this. So
showed
I'm
up
not
in
trying to be
Vegas that
funny,
time.
but Talik pointed something out to me yesterday, and can you tell what you pointed out to me yesterday
Maybe. I don't know.
about James' luggage?
You talking about your luggage?
Hey, man. James, man. Let me tell you something, man. This man luggage, he had it wide open. And this man, I said, man, your wife had to pack this. This man had each pair of pants.
No, it was not.
Oh,
You
no.
exaggerate.
We'll put the camera on it. This man had each pair of pants in his separate bag, garment bag.
Yeah.
He had socks
He had like 9 pouches
in
that
his
joint.
individual bag. Now I understand the shoes, right?
But did you understand? Did you see this though? Each shoe, not pair of shoes, had its own bag. No,
Well, I know that, right? Because they don't want to touch it. So
you don't want to touch the other shoe.
that was about to the extent that I go.
Oh, okay. I got
Each
you.
one of my shoes got his own bag. You know what I mean? But James, oh man, yeah. Just something I found in a closet.
There you go. I'm modest.
Come on, that XL. Oh, that's extra large. Oh no, that's Louis. Extra large. They got 3X.
But my man, and I ain't flexing. It's just
Oh, hey,
comfortable.
man,
You know what I mean?
hey.
But they'll see me on the street if they want to. You know.
Yeah, bro.
But James made me bump my game up.
Oh, man, be quiet. Yo.
Bruh, I what it's about.
Hey, but Stephanie dressing them better now though than when we went to Vegas that time.
Yeah, man, you said that, bro.
She dressed him down.
That's one of my
She
favorite
back for it, but
stories.
she dressed him down.
Yeah, she didn't want to look
That's
too
a setup
fly.
there.
Yeah, you can't look too good leaving these joints. Yeah, hey, had James' grass cutting out for him in the bag.
So, hey, look. So
Shout out
let's bring
to
it back.
James.
Let's bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back.
We digress.
We're gonna bring back and lift our sister up, right?
Yeah, we digress.
Because we appreciate a black woman
Sure.
that recognizes that her man needs the brotherhood.
Absolutely.
So
And
we
a
really
reset.
do. We make it
Time
light
to
up,
time.
but we really do. For sure.
Nah, yeah.
And so how in terms of this conversation though, brothers, like I want to get on this because we talking about us. I do want to get on this for our brothers that are fathers and parents, right? What do you do? Because thankfully God bless us to be able to take a trip, and I'm not,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, thankfully we can do that, and we've been blessed to do that, and I hope we continue to be able to do that. But there's some people that can't go to Costa Rica, go to Vegas when they want. I mean, or they don't think they can. Let's say they don't think they
Right.
can.
There you go.
But they don't do that.
That's
They don't
most of the
incorporate in their
time.
life. What would you say to them about the importance of having some ways to release yourself or the impact of you not doing that as a father?
I think the brotherhood. I mean, you if you're a coach, you're around different other coaches. I think at work, you meeting people, you interacting, and find somebody that you could really bond with and lock in with and establish that relationship. And then it take baby steps. Maybe y'all will go to a professional game that's locally in your neighbor, in your city, or maybe you'll go to a restaurant and unplug, and then eventually, with that brotherhood and that bond, you elevate it and take it to the next level.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. I look at it too, going back to what Nuevo was saying earlier about sometimes he's like, the hell with it, I'm out. You know what I mean? A pressure relief valve.
Right,
'Cause
right.
we're dealing with the pressures of trying to make everybody happy. You want
Right.
your lady to be happy. You want the kids to be happy. And you knowing that you can't always do that. But you're going to give them everything they need. Hopefully give them most of what they want, right?
Yeah.
But we got to remember too, when you become in this relationship, right? You were a person before you met her, right? She was a person before you met you. And then you combine to have this family. But don't forget you, just like she should forget her. So your hobbies, the things, your goals outside of your family, you got to learn how to keep those and maintain those. You know what I mean? And whatever it be. And again, if you have, we always talk about we coach our kids in sports, right? Whether we have a hobby, whatever interest we may have outside of that, we need that, And we need, for real, we need 70-year-old brothers that we want to talk to, and we don't have that,
Right.
And so a lot of times,
Uncle Ed.
yeah, Uncle Ed, exactly, yeah, and so so we rely on one another for that, But having outside interests, having outside hobbies, is your pressure relief valve because you have to release it before it does burst, and we never want to get to that point,
Yeah, kind of regularly. You know what I mean? On
Yeah.
it don't have to be every week, every month, but regularly.
Look.
Chopping it up like we used to do. It began with our like little conference calls or what have you, or
And let me tell you what
and then morphed into this. You know what I mean?
the stakes are. The stakes are, for depending on what type of work you do in the station of life, all of us in different stations, right? And if you have there's a reel going around, man. I'm gonna share it with y'all when I find it. It's this gentleman talking about 95% or something of how your child's life turns out depends on where they're raised.
And what environment?
Yeah.
What environment you put
I
them
saw
in
it.
that
I
you
saw
raise
it.
them in.
Yeah, we just
You saw that?
Don't worry about genetics. Don't worry
Now,
about all that.
all that
Yeah.
other stuff is gonna shake
95.
itself out.
Yeah.
The issue is where they are raised because of the people that are in where they're raised.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when we talking about being fathers, and the situation that we were raised in, I know for me, knowing that balance or the idea, so since I was born raised without a father, I think I was overly focused on doing everything for everybody all the time.
overcompensate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be so perfect at it. We talked about this. I wanted to be so perfect at it, so I don't need a break.
Yeah.
Taking a break for what? Who else gonna do it? This is what I signed up for. This is
Mm.
what I've been waiting for at the time when I was sitting at my windowsill without a father wondering why I ain't got one. Come pick me up at my game. This is what I've been waiting to do when we was as teenagers talking about how we wanted our life to be. I've been waiting for this moment to show that I can do this right. I got it. And then you in it. Right? Just like somebody tell you they can swim and they really can't swim that good.
Taking doggy
They
paddle.
just don't know they're still swimming and training.
Yeah.
And you swimming and they say they got it and you see them go under.
Wow.
Fighting the water. And we fight the waters of life, bro. We fighting these individual battles with these things that we think we're trying to win on. And in the midst, you do lose yourself. You do lose my heart. I can remember that, man. I can remember. I'm as a 52-year-old man now, I can tell you that there are parts of myself that I neglected because that job was so important to me.
Right.
And I wasn't cognizant of the releases and the hobbies y'all talking about. And that I didn't pursue certain gifts that I had at the level I should have because of that commitment to that job. And it's hard for me now to say I shouldn't have did it because I'm happy with the product.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's why we
But along the way, I could have reduced my stress if I had taken more opportunities to slow down and release. And not just the trips I'm talking about. Yeah. Even though as much as we talk, because even though it's still periods of times where we was all in our world for 4 or 5 months just grinding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I just wish I had done more because the stakes are people that have a job where they're stressful job. Say if you have a stressful job, and a lot of people do, and you come home and you getting disrespect. Stressful job means you're an employee and you're an employee at a level where you get disrespected by people in power because they talk to you crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they making rules and policies that's unjust just because they got power. And you can't whip their tail or do nothing about it because you got to feed the kids that we talking about in the family, right? And so you come home and your child comes home and he got in trouble in school, right? And then you got another child and you came home and he lost his laptop on the way home. And then you also found out that, your transmission bad and that's $800 a day. And this is not going home, right? And so then the third child comes home, then your wife comes home and she has some stuff going on and you end up in an argument with her and she really didn't do anything, but you're just stressed out because of the day you had. And we talked about not taking it out on the kids, right? And then you do what too many of us do. You go get some liquor. I'm going to go get me a drink. I'm going to smoke me a cigarette to calm my nerves. I'm going to do this other thing as the release instead of the value of a brotherhood or a regular plan to just release yourself. That's the stakes, bro. Because it makes houses intolerable.
Yeah.
When men are frustrated.
For sure. And I think, the piece of us that we kind of take for granted is that we have each other and we done had each other for 40 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know a whole lot of people that got, a circle like we have.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys know people always want to, oh man, I'm gonna be on the podcast, so I want to be a part of when y'all take y'all next trip, I want to go, and you know what I mean? And it's not so much as they want to go to Vegas. It's not so much as they want to be on a podcast. What they want is what we got.
Yeah.
In the
community.
friendship, and they recognize it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They recognize it, and they wanna have that because they know they need it too.
Yeah.
But they haven't found a place to plant their flag and be a part of something like that, And so I think we come up here and we talk about it, and maybe that's why, when we was talking about, I was saying, we do this podcast, we're gonna talk about raising our sons and all this stuff, and because they done turned out to be fine young men, you know, and I remember the day you was like, man, we don't know how we did that. we just lucked into doing right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we lucked into doing right because I think we had this.
Yeah.
You know, because I think we had this. And that's what we were always able to calibrate what we were doing because we had one another.
Right.
You know, and so many times when you flying solo, there's nobody to help calibrate you like that.
Right.
You know, you flying solo. So when you might be getting off your game, when you might be getting off track, there's nobody to say, hey, get back over here. Like you said, I can say something to y'all, and I don't care if you get mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't care if I get mad.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it to you, well, in a real raw way, you know,
Right.
like.
All depends on what John done. Now, that's what.
Yeah, you know, I think that's kind of what I'm known for in this circle.
Yeah.
You know,
Fussing.
fussing.
At all of us.
Fussing.
But
Yeah.
man, you said it, man.
Nah.
I'm at still sharpen steel. The whole state still sharpen steel. Men sharpen men. And then in the scripture, you can tell that they have passed out of death into life because they love the brotherhood.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They have passed out of death into life. What is there beyond life? Life is the core of our existence, right? We get life from this thing, right? I'm saying this. This is honest. I'm saying this, and it might be. It's probably true for y'all too. You just said it again. I said it earlier. Other than my brothers, there is no one. I'm not talking about because you know a wife will tell you everything about yourself, right? There is no one in my life, and I might be wrong about that, that will be as forthright, just straight up with me as y'all and my brothers. Nobody.
Yeah.
And so because I'm not with you every day, because I'm not around them every day, I need to get around y'all to be brought back sometimes. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Accountability is what we're talking about.
Because
we're talking about
to
being
really
accountable for
challenge
one
me, because
another.
anybody else that you don't really, because if you don't even know me like that, first of all, I'm gonna intellectualize why you shouldn't even be telling me that. Right? We got our ways.
Right.
Y'all know me, so y'all can be like, you can say all the words you want to say. No.
Yeah, right.
I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
that's
I
real
appreciate.
though.
I need that, man, because I need to be brought back, or just like we can just straight up ask one another, like somebody got a serious relationship, man. Like, look, man, do you love him?
Right.
So what you gonna do then?
Yeah.
I mean, the questions you're asking that you're contemplating yourself, your brother's jumping on you about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Making it clear.
we
And if you-
supporting our relationships, our families. We're doing the right thing.
I think one of the things Wall was talking about, man, we in a situation where this right here is attractive to men in a good sense, you know, because they understand that they may not have it, but they understand that this is what they need. And the thing is, as a brother or just men in general, most of the time we checking on everybody, but we don't have nobody checking on us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And looking out for our well-being. I'm part of this group morning meetup group, and I hear the brothers talking, man, and a lot of the brothers, I got their phone number, and when I get off the phone, when we get off the call in the morning, I'll pour into them, I'll call them, motivate them, build them up, man, let them know how proud I am of them and stuff like that, because you don't get that from men a lot of times, being vulnerable,
That
like
reinforcement.
you know, or and letting them know that you believe in their vision and what they doing, and you know, some of the guys are a lot younger than me, but at the same time, I'm demonstrating a level of love and support with them in that area.
Right. Absolutely.
One thing I want to talk about is how you create what we have,
Mm-hmm.
because you can create this, but sometimes people do it, but and they're trying to do it, but they do it the wrong way. And what I mean by that is, Aristotle said there's 3 types of friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's friendships of pleasure, there are friendships of utility, and there are friendships of excellence. Okay? Friendships of pleasure. We go out, we have a good time, we partying, doing whatever, laughing, we kicking it, we laughing and giggling. And you can think that's a real friend. That's a friendship of pleasure. Mm-hmm. Friendships of utility. Oh, we tight and cool, but because he picked me up every day and take me to work, or he picked me up every day, he got a car and we can go use his car and we can go do some stuff together.
Use people.
Yeah, well, friendships of utility. But
can that
the
be
most important, it can be. The most important friendship is friendships of excellence. And that's a friendship that's based on character. And we have bonded because of character. I know what kind of man you are. I know what kind of man you are. I know what kind of man you are. And our friendship is based on a set of principles that guide and govern how we interact with one another. Mm-hmm. And so when I hear somebody that may say, I'm not going to go into business with none of my friends, because I went into business with my friends and that was a disaster. Well, what they really telling me is that probably wasn't a friendship based on excellence. That probably was a friendship based on pleasure or utility. And that's why it didn't work out as a business.
I'm not even gonna tell you why I'm so mad at you right now. Because if you had told who I'm talking about what you just said, we'd be.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I say
viral on another level.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna leave it right there.
But
that's the response.
That is the response, and I ain't get that response at the time.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because I was trying to accomplish something else. But that's what I know we have.
Yeah.
And that excellence in friendship is what governs what we have here, and that's why we've been friends for 40 years, and that's why we've been able to raise the boys that we've been able to raise. So my point is, to the young men out there that recognize they need something like this, make sure that the friendship is not built on we just having a drink at the bar.
Right.
It's wing night and chips or whatever. You know what I mean? Make sure it's okay, we bonding, but we coach together, and so it's cool. It has to be a friendship based in a set of principles and excellence that govern the relationship. Because when it governs the relationship, you don't have to worry about it falling apart. You don't have to worry about it falling apart.
I see John gritting on you.
John gritting on me.
John gritting on him, man. I go to the bar and have chips and drinks and wings.
I'm going to steal Dictionary James's role right now. Dictionary J Moo. You killing it, man.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you why. You made me think about the origin of the word friend. I wanted to look up the origin of the word friend because it's the wrong question to ask me, am I in business with my friends? I'm in business with my family on this podcast. And that's a difference.
Yeah.
Because we call it, the only reason y'all are a friend to me is because we not blood related.
Right.
That's the only reason I gotta call you that title.
Right.
But you my brother for sure.
Yeah.
In the deepest sense of the word. And beyond that, you said we look out and support one another's families. We family.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's why it's so valuable to us. And so when people talking about, to your point, it ain't just somebody. If I meet you at the bar and I know you at work, you're not my family. If somebody smack you at the bar, I'm probably not going. I mean, you're gonna have to handle that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They smack one of y'all, the bar coming down.
Right.
I mean, we're going to jail. I mean, I'm just, so the word back to the origin. So it's not about friendship. It's about it morphing in the family. And yes, I be in business with my family, right? Friend, Old English word. It's actually, they call it Old English source. It's a modern English word, right? Modern English is about 1500 to 1635, the King James area, Jacobean period. Don't make me get in my English. All right.
Teach.
He said the word, it comes from the Old English word freon. There's an accent over it, so it might be pronounced differently. It meant to love, like, honor, or set free from slavery or confinement. Because what I thought about was if we came here and in the deepest sense of the word, in faith, we brothers in the faith. In all the major religions, we're spiritual. We call ourselves brother, sister, right?
Right.
Then God ain't say nothing about no friend. He ain't say a greater friend. He said a greater love. He said brother, friend. He ain't say nothing about no friend. But they said Abraham was a friend of God, but that's also English translation. They might not even had a word for friend in Hebrew, Aramaic, or Arabic, as far as we know.
Right.
But my point is, it's the love, man.
Yeah.
It's about love. Because if to free you, you know what freeing you mean? I ain't freeing y'all from slavery. You know what my freedom to you is? My friendship? I'm around me, you are free to be who you are.
Exactly.
I'm not confining who you are when you're around me. And you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it take you 2 hours to eat a bag of corn chips, because you just no, I'm not talking about J Moon. No, I'm just saying, I just appreciate that's just my brother that take 2 hours to eat corn chips. But it's love, man.
13 corn chips, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But
And you know each other then.
real
The
quick,
familiarity.
I think, or could it be that those three different types of friendship or levels of friendship, can they? I kind of, because I was kind of reflecting back on ours, and I suppose I guess we could say that our friendships began on levels of pleasure
and utility. Especially because you had a red pulse.
Right.
Yeah.
But then in that it's necessary, because then it evolves to that of excellence.
It becomes something that's sustainable,
Right.
because you start to recognize the excellence.
Right.
So
because
once you
because
recognize
time, but it
because-
starts because you spending time though.
Right, the
Even
time.
if you spending time doing wrong, you spending time.
We
And you
did that
getting
too.
together, and you getting together, you getting to know one another. Say, you know what? Even though we doing wrong, he really is an alright guy, and I'm really an alright guy. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend more time with him.
Right. And that's
Then you start doing stuff that's not the evil together.
right.
Like shoot some ball.
Right.
Instead of chasing.
And so I think that's what has happened, because
Mhm.
it began with, again, as you said, with pleasure and utility, and then evolved to that of recognizing and seeing one another's character in one another to be friendship of excellence. What is it?
Yeah.
Excellence,
So
right?
we have to.
So what do we tell our fellas about the difference between acquaintances versus friends?
That right there.
Our sons?
And how do you determine the two?
Yeah, what did we say? How did that
over
conversation
time,
go?
or yeah, how did
I
that-
don't know. Just what I said. Recognize what that friendship is based in and based upon. Is we cool because we play on the same AAU team together, or we cool because I'm picking up, giving you rides. We cool because we smoking weed and drinking and partying.
So
I've had people come to me and say, "Man, I know you from high school," and they'll say, "Man, we used to get high together." And I'm thinking, no, you never get high with me.
Not me, fam.
Yeah, I might have been there when you was getting high, but I won't get high.
Hey, they was getting high. I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly,
that's part of getting high.
You know what I mean? But they may
Right.
perceive
You
us
was
to
there.
have a level of friendship, and we know this. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that may consider us.
What they do, name drop. People name drop.
Yeah.
Why can't that's my man, him. We used to smoke together.
Yeah, right.
I don't play that stuff, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yeah.
That's why I want to look at the word friend. I do not use that word loosely, man. When people when somebody come tell me like, "Oh, this is my friend such and such," and I know they just met him, I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
My wife get
I'm
on
suspicious
Courtney
of-
all the time. With
I'm
that,
suspicious of you.
with that boy.
I love you, but I'm wondering about your self-esteem.
Right.
I am. I'm wondering about your self-esteem because what did they do to earn that title from you?
But see, when people don't know and people don't have a standard for friendship, they can artificially accelerate the relationship. And next thing you know, they saying they love you and all this stuff, and it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what happens when people don't know how to establish a standard for developing friendships. And you got to decide who you want to be around and who you going to kick it with, and observe, and don't just observe how they treat you.
Right.
All right, yeah, that's paramount how they treat you, but observe how they treat others.
Yeah.
Observe how they treat the cashier in the grocery store. Observe how they treat the waitress or the
care
waiter.
about how you treat it.
Yeah, observe these things. If they nasty to the waiter, nasty to the waitress, nasty, don't even acknowledge the person ringing up groceries. Come on, man. Like, I'm observing you, and so this is how I'm making some assessments about your character to see if whether we can develop a friendship based in excellence.
Hey, man.
And
Yeah.
you real quick, usually
Go
that's
ahead.
that's determined on a shared value system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Certain values that you share, and that's what I tried to instill in the boys, is that making sure you have common values that would allow you to allow and to determine if this can be accurately labeled a friendship and
Right.
a true friendship and whatnot. So,
I got another angle I think is a good nuance to this conversation that y'all might agree on is I'm sitting there thinking about, because we're talking about how black men or men, all men are dealing with it. We just know our brothers are primarily who we coming out of this community watching this. Men had this thing where, in terms of our own journey, in terms of our own walk as fathers, and we getting released, and I'm talking about, man, this is how you can remain persistent and resilient through the fatherhood journey. We talk about, hey, you got to take trips with the fellas. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. You know what the most important thing is? Who you choose to marry.
Yeah.
Even
Amen.
though it's a dynamic where I'm saying sometimes we need a break from it, it's still important who you chose to take the break from.
Because that break is less than 1%.
Bro, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know why that's so critical?
wow.
Because that's the beginning of your peace.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Is the home environment
For
set
sure.
for you to be at peace and in heaven? And so when I said, can Tracy solve that? She can't, but that 85-90%,
Yeah, absolutely.
she can handle that
Absolutely.
with the essence that God put in her. You know what I'm saying? So that's so critical, and that's our brother's problem. We choose from them same type of Aristotle reasons you talking about. We choose transactional women.
Yeah.
We choose to
wow.
be transactional regarding, what was the other thing?
Pleasure,
Utility.
The
And
utility,
pleasure.
the
Yeah,
pleasure,
Yeah.
and then when we get it right, we got the excellence with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going back to friend now, because I know at times in my marriage, I've been married 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Thank
go.
Allah,
Congratulations.
right? And anybody
sir.
will tell you it's a hell of a journey, right? and both of us will sit there and tell you, it's a heavyweight fight. You've been married 30 years sometimes, and then you get it's ebbs and flows, right? And so, but my point is, I tell people all the time, man, when they ask for marriage advice, first of all, somebody told me once, don't ever give marriage advice. They said, because if something go wrong, you done told somebody something, they done went and left somebody or something, or whatever, right? But the person was like, listen, the advice, the one marriage advice I will always give people is make sure you are friends with who you are marrying,
Right.
right? And the reason why is because all marriages are terrible sometimes.
Oh,
I didn't say all marriages are terrible.
right.
All marriages are terrible sometimes.
Sometimes. Right.
When it's terrible and you're not friends, you have nothing to sustain you through that time.
Right.
When you're friends, you have a friendship to sustain you. It's the same way if one of y'all get mad at me and cuss me out and I cuss y'all out, but next week we're going to be laughing, we're going to be back.
Next hour.
Because we got so much history.
Yeah.
Next hour for us,
Yeah,
next
right.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you do,
Yeah.
all right, but I'm saying that's the point though, is that you're good. We can easily recover. You can't recover if you're married to someone and y'all don't have a friendship that was at the root of that, because the things that come along with friendship is me being more patient, me being a different level of mercy, me being more forgiving, beyond those things that come from a husband. Now we're on a friendship because I love you so much that I'm mad at you, but I know you're gonna be in my life forever.
Yeah.
So it's important that you were the one I'm with, because I ain't so mad that I just want to call it quits.
Yeah.
Because in the midst of that, you can't call it quit with a friend that easy.
Absolutely.
Not when you've been there for me like that.
Yeah.
I can't just easily dismiss you like that. But when we got married and I met you at the club and we had sex and then we started kicking it and we had a baby and then we got married and 6 years later we realized we never really built a friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you got double trouble trying to relieve your stress as a father and a parent from all the roles we have.
Right.
You know?
I know sometimes when we're in this brotherhood and we travel and stuff, man, we laugh, we had so much fun. Sometimes, man, I forget to call my wife and let her know that I made it there safe, you know. and I mean, she forgive me, but at the same time, man, we just really enjoy this brotherhood that's so well needed, you know.
And it's contagious because we've been in the airport before laughing again. People like, I want to come. What are y'all talking about? What y'all doing? You know, they want to be a part. Me and my wife laugh and trip all the time because you know, y'all heard me say this before. When you talk about that peace that they bring, the little floor thing in our house when you come through and it says, this is our happy place. And one of the reasons I always refer back to that is because obviously we both responsible for making it that. But we always laugh. Like if something happened and I say, well, you know, that's why every restaurant in town got happy hour, because dudes don't want to go home. You know, women don't want to go home. They, you know,
happy for this hour.
I'd be happy for a while.
You know what's crazy?
What?
You're not going home to be happy.
Right, exactly.
Find it at the bar.
I can't go home to be happy. Let me go to Chili's. Really? I'm going to go to Chili's till 7 o'clock because I don't want to go home. And it's a reason.
Let somebody say something to me when I get home.
It's a reason, man. All these places have this. It's because people can't find that peace. You know, where they going. So to your point, it really is about who you choose to build this life with. You know?
You're going to need less trips.
You're going to need less trips. and right. What? We done took 6 trips? You know, it ain't like we taking trips every year.
Right.
You know what I mean? We haven't even taken that many.
But did you go ahead, bro?
No, I was just saying, wow.
The whole thing about what we, you know, in terms of what we trying to, the message we get out is John, you know, started off talking about when he wasn't with his family and he was just with the fellas. It was a great story about how you just feel the relief of not having to be on duty.
Right.
Every time you on duty when you with your family and you traveling or whatever, or just at home, you are on duty from the time you wake up through the night. You the sleep guard. You everything.
Bro, I gotta say this. Me and my wife just had this conversation like 2 nights ago, right? And she was talking about some scary movie that was coming out. And I was like, well, you know I'm not watching that. You know, and she was like, oh, you're not going to watch this scary movie? I'm like, you know I don't watch scary movies. I'm not watching that movie. And she was like, all right, I guess me and Darius are just... I said, listen. I said, you know what? You need to understand the privilege you have. She was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was going.
I said, if you was a single mother living in this house by yourself, would you watch all them scary movies? Probably. She was like, I probably wouldn't. The fact that I'm on duty gives her a peace of mind and a level of security that she can go watch Jason Voorhees.
I can be scared out of my mind because I got a security guard
and go watch Saw and all that mess they be watching. You know what I mean? I'm not watching that.
Because somebody got to watch you?
Yeah, who watching me? Who watching me? Yeah, you know what I mean? But like that's even something as simple as that. We all talk about it, man. We like, man, our wives sitting up watching Law and Order and all this killing and murder, and they watching 20 hours. You know,
I can't watch that kind of stuff.
You know, and so they have a privilege of being able to watch that because they feel so secure. And what we provide.
And don't go turn this into so now you feel like you're so on duty now because you with us. We such a burden.
No, I
Don't misinterpret that.
When I said
women.
I do, I meant I will.
All right. No, I'm just saying, you know how
'Cause
they
that's
can
what
take
it
it out
is.
of context.
That's what
No,
comes
go ahead.
with it.
Elaborate on that. What you
Yeah,
mean?
when I said I do, I meant I will, and I will until the end of time, because that's the responsibility and obligation. You know, we always talk about, man, you know, you look at the divorce rates now, and it's, 50%, 54%, whatever it is, and people refer back to grandmama and granddaddy, and they stayed married for 50. John's great-grandparents was married 75, 76 years.
77 years.
Right,
Yeah.
77
You
years.
get married at 9?
Bro,
Yeah.
yeah.
Teenagers.
Bro, like
Awesome.
for real, that doesn't happen because we just happy all the time.
Yeah.
That happens because people have made a commitment and they're staying together out of a sense of responsibility and duty when it does break down.
Yeah, right.
When
right,
it
that's
does
right.
break down, there's
Right.
a sense of responsibility and duty and commitment to
Right.
why I'm here.
Right.
And so a lot, this generation and got away from that.
Yeah.
Everybody like, she don't make me happy no more. I'm out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on,
Instead
man.
of creating a happy environment.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's your responsibility. Your leadership is required to create that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I said I do, I will, I'm accepting the responsibility of this for a lifetime, not for a moment. I remember the day me and my wife got married. Don't ask me how I had this, if it was wisdom or I don't know. But I remember the day we got married and we went to the house. And I said, well, we married now. We just woke up one day. I'm like, you want to get married? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Nah.
That's how we got married,
Yeah.
on
Wow.
a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so I remember getting back to the house
Tuesday.
and I said to her, I said, we about to take this journey, whatever it is. I said, but there's one word you can never say. And she was like, huh? I said, there's one word you can never say. She was like, what? I said, you can never say the word divorce.
Ooh.
I said, because the moment you speak it, it becomes an option. And as long as we operate with one another where that is not an option, we will respond and react to one another accordingly. Now, obviously, people get divorced all the time. And I always say it's times when it's understandable and acceptable. And I call it the 3 A's: addiction, abuse, and adultery. When those things happen, I understand it's okay to leave. But at the same time, don't be in well, maybe we just need to break up and maybe we just need to, no. Don't even let that language come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Don't even speak that way, because if you don't, we can mend it.
Brother, why
Please let me ask
didn't
this
you say
question.
this to me 2 marriages ago, bro?
You won't listen.
Why did we?
Hey, you
Why
wouldn't
did we have
listen.
this combo? Each time I got married, because y'all was
But
involved.
the first 2 times you got married, I was not your best man.
Oh, that's what it was.
And
Who
the
was the best
third,
man?
Man, I had to
The
give.
third
I had
time-
to give.
the third time
Who
Yeah.
was
he
the
an
best
opportunity.
man, bro? Who was in Atlanta? That wasn't me?
Yes.
Atlanta, yeah. I was here. Then it was John.
and then the third time I was like, I'll be the best man this time.
And he's still
Man.
married.
And he's still married. I'm taking
John got a bad
credit. you and John got bad track record.
Man, he asked me to be the best man when I won't even a man yet.
You're the best boy.
You won't even-
I was
Yeah.
18 years old. I ain't know what am I doing here.
Oh, you crazy,
Hey,
man.
look.
Exactly.
Hey, look. Hey, but Joaquin, this is the thing. I'm just amazed, man. And I done known you a long time, man. As we all talk since the Owls, and then our mom, your mom told me we might have known
Say
each
the
other long,
Owls.
and then the Owls
Yeah.
basketball team at Walker. And I knew you in high school, of course, and you lived in the next building. I ain't hear nothing coming out of you that indicated you had such wisdom at 19 or when you got married to be talking about wisdom about divorcing and all that. I don't know where that came from, bro, but I'm impressed by it.
No,
That's-
man. John,
'cause I
John
know when
said
I
it to
got
me,
married
too.
that young, I was like, I ain't even divorced. Man, I am just trying to figure, what does married mean? I'm married, but what does it mean?
Trying to figure that joint out.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a powerful thing, man. that that's therein lies the dynamic, is that we agreed to that duty, and we just need them to understand. So in light of the fact that you can watch Law and Order and you can watch For My Man and all these shows Tyreek on with these
When
women
they shooting and
setting
killing
up
people.
and killing their men, and all this stuff.
What's the name of Tyreek
And
Jones?
sometimes I be like, it's always a situation where like, damn, like, did she just kill them? She put something in his chicken. Then you might have had chicken or something. Just in the back of your mind. But anyway, I can't watch that stuff neither.
Yeah.
But in light of that, just understand. So the price to pay for all of your crime shows you want to watch and scary movies, we just want to go to Colombia for a week.
Yeah.
That's it. And we'll continue to play the role.
To be secure, we continue to be secure.
Yeah. It's the B2M crew, and we're in Fayetteville, Georgia, outside of Atlanta, at Wynn Production Studios. Brand new studio in Fayetteville. Wynn Productions, excellent for all of your media production needs. They got the drone game going. They got all of that going, and I'm about to also share with you a book that we want to advertise, The Blueprint to Upgrade Your Credit, by Sister Katrina Wynn, who's a matriarch in the Wynn Productions empire.
For sure.
Wonderful,
Right.
easy to read book that's super informative and is updated. Copyright 2023 about credit. You know, there's been a lot of credit to that. Changes to the credit game that everybody needs to stay
As a
abreast
realtor,
of.
I
So
see it.
Check it out, everybody.
Go to
And,
Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Check it out on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So we chopped it up to you today. This crew of 5 black men who've been friends for 40 years. We've been married for over combined 100 years, have 12 sons among us and 1 daughter. Talking to you and letting us into our brotherhood and friendship related to parenting and brotherhood. And today we talked about the importance of men and fathers who are getting it in and putting that work in and that commitment to find ways and find and build a brotherhood of men with character, so that we can continue to be the protectors,
Reset,
providers,
recalibrate from
and
time
lovers
to time.
of our family that we need to be without getting burned out. Joaquin, can you take us out with something,
Yes,
bro?
sir. Yes,
As
sir.
always, in the words of the great Frederick Douglass, it is easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winning. I'ma show 'em how true and independent get it. Whole game changed by the time I'm finished with it. We about to get this business handled in a minute. And I won't stop until I'm winning. They don't want me in the office 'cause